All right, Tracy. First lesson for you and for Walker. This is actually going to be a part 2 video because the first video is just going to be about stuff for you to learn. So this is going to be just kind of a little background video on your handler position, what you need to be doing, and kind of just a little background. So Dallas is going to help us out. Dallas! First things first, heel position, what it should look like. What you are going to do is the leash is in, good girl, nice attention, she's looking up at me, this is what you want. Leash should be in your left hand, your right arm is hanging loosely by your side. Have the leash by your belly button. That's going to prevent you from doing a lot of guiding with the leash. You'll get dock points for that. And for you as a handler, when you look down, the leash should look like a J. So if you can see, it looks like a J here. So that means that she's got a little bit of slack, so the leash is not taut, she's not lagging behind me, she's not forging ahead of me. Good girl. Okay, so that's what it should look like. This is what you should do. All right, here's your heel position. When you are training, always be careful to always treat from your left hand when you're working on heeling. Really, really important, because if I treat her from the right hand while we're heeling instead of my left, watch what happens. Ready? Let's go. What did I just train her to do? I trained her to cross in front of me and not be in straight heel position, right? So always treat from your left hand. Rule for you. All right, another thing. Dallas, just what does correct heel position look like? What should the dog be doing? The dog should be in a straight line. They're facing kind of square with your body facing square. What the dog is going to be reading is your body language. They're going to see your knees, your hip, and this elbow. So your body language is going to be really important. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But heel position for the dog, their shoulders should be right by your knee, and their body should be straight. Her body is pretty straight. The nose is going to wrap around a little bit, ideally, if they're paying good attention to you, and that's great. Her nose is kind of wrapped around because she's paying attention to me and what I'm going to be doing. When you are heeling, do not look down at your dog, because then your shoulders are pointed this way, and with you looking at the dog, it's going to actually drive them back and make them lag. Okay? So you want your shoulders to be straight, and you're not going to look at your dog while you're heeling. I know, that sounds hard. Instead, you're going to be looking on the floor. So peripherally, I can see her, and she can see me, and I can see if she's paying attention. But I'm looking down at the floor, probably about 12 o'clock, about 2 feet, 3 feet ahead of me. I'm looking in the direction that I'm going to be going. Right? Good attention. So that's what her heel position looks like from just different angles. For you, what it looks like. She is pointed straight. Her shoulders are by my knees. Oh, she got a little crooked there. There we go. Better. Okay, so from that angle, that's what it looks like. From this angle, nice. See, she's pointed straight, and you can definitely tell with our dogs with the ridge if they're pointed straight or not, if they're in straight heel position. Very nice. Thank you for your help. Okay. I'm going to pop her away because I'm going to show you some footwork stuff. Good girl. What do you think? No, you'll work more in a little bit. Good job. Okay, so this might sound really crazy, but your footwork. The dog is reading your body language aside from your verbal and your hand signal cues or your commands. So your footwork is actually important. I'm going to give this to you now so you can actually practice it without Walker. I know that sounds stupid, but Matt's already doing this. I do it by myself without a dog too, just so that I'm getting my footwork straight so that it's always consistent for the dog to be reading the same thing, okay? So first of all, when you're heeling just forward, make sure you're actually going in a straight line. And make sure that, I talk about being square, make sure that your body is square. The dog is reading your elbow, your hip, your knee, okay? So when you start off from your heel position, get in the habit of always starting with the same foot. Sound picky? Yeah, it is. But if you all start off with your left foot, the dog's right here, that's their cue. That's their cue. They're going to see your leg moving. That means, okay, let's go, let's heel. Another problem or bad habit that people get into is when they're starting their heeling pattern, dog is here, and they will say, Dallas, let's go. Well, I didn't really give her a cue, did I? I said, let's go. I gave her the verbal command as I'm moving out. not really fair warning for the dog. So what you want to do instead is, Dallas, let's go. And then you start off, okay? So that they are ready to move fast with you. All right? So I'm just going to show you the footwork for an about turn. And I'm trying to remember, in rally, it is called, yes, it's called an about turn. And if you get in the habit of always being consistent, good. So practice it with your dog. And I'll show it from a couple different directions so that hopefully it makes sense. So the judge will say, are you ready? Forward, Dallas, heel. All right, so my U-turn is kind of a rock step because the dog is going to come around with me. So I kind of rock forward on my right and turn. Rock forward on my right and turn. Okay? From another direction, it looks like rock forward on my right and turn. Okay? I'm kind of exaggerating it right now because I'm trying to show what it looks like. So it's going to look a little bit more smooth. Right? So that's your about turn. The reason that we don't do our about turn by just turning in a circle is because down the road, when you're going to work on left turns, if I'm just doing this for my U-turn, that looks exactly like turning into a left turn to the dog. So if you use your about turn footwork with a rock step, it's going to look a lot different to the dog. Okay, so that's the about turn. For the left turn, much easier. You're just going to be heeling forward and just plant your left foot almost at a 90 degree. It's going to feel really awkward. It's not going to be a natural way that you would turn normally, but it's going to be a good cue to the dog. The other thing that you want to do is as you plant that left foot, my body is square. My elbow is kind of a steering wheel. That's a good cue to the dog. So I'm going to be turning that at the same time that I take my left turn. Okay? So left turn. All right? Hope I'm still on camera there. All right? Left turn. A right turn is going to be the same thing. Your left foot is kind of the cue to the dog. So the dog is here and you're just going to turn into them. Okay? So you're turning into them, and again, my body is going square with my body. And I'm looking where I'm going. Okay? Right turn. And everything you want to be close to a 90 degree. Okay? So left turn, body, head moves. Right? So, got the left turn. And the left turn. Sorry, I'm not navigating this well. And otherwise, a right turn. Okay? There's something else that I was going to say about turns, and now I'm not remembering. Is that everything on my list? I think so. Oh, I remember what it was. You'll have all the halt signs where you're supposed to stop. Sometimes the dog is supposed to sit, sometimes they're not. If we are just heeling along and we just stop, well, that's not a lot of fair warning to the dog. So what you are allowed to do is take a couple steps. So normally I'm going to put up this cone like this is going to be the stop, the halt. So normally what you would do, I can see it coming up. Dallas, heel. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So I'm just slowing down my steps and making them smaller. So it's 1, 2, bring up your feet even. Okay? And again, I exaggerated that. I'm going to show you really quick how that looks with all those things look with Dallas. Yeah. Because it is harder to do it without a dog. All right, Daddy, come again. Very nice. I'm watching my food. Ready? Yes. Yeah. Very good. So there's my halt. Let's go. Good girl. U-turn. Oh, she wasn't watching. Get in here. You had to practice. There we go. So there's the U-turn. And she's heeling really wide. Very good. All right. And the left turn. Let's go. Good girl. Oh, I tricked ya. There you go. That was a good one. Sitting so wide. Sitting so wide. And the right turn. Hey, let's go. Oh, she's lousy on her right turns now. Hey, Cam. Yeah. Oh, these are horrible. Really bad. Get in here. That was better. Good girl. All right. So, homework for you to do. Hopefully that gives you an idea.